Alright, howdy all, Phil here, Next 72 Hours, coming to you from the kitchen again, and this is just a little fire starter that I thought I'd try out. It's basically that whole cotton wool and wax trick there, except I've actually also scraped up some magnesium and put it through there in the hopes that it might give us a bit of a better burn. So it's actually turned out far more solid than I originally expected. In fact, yep, it's a pretty solid beast there. So what I'm going to do is just try and break it open and expose some of that more fluffy cotton there. So what I tried to do is not make it too quite compound on the outside and not too compound on the inside as far as wax goes. I don't know how well it's actually worked, because like I said, it's pretty crazy solid looking there, and might just take a couple of strikes to it with the old ferro rod there and see if this obviously has seen better days if we can't get it to ignite there. Alright, so for the purpose of this video, I've brought it over to the stove here where I did that last video on the hobo stove, because we're probably going to get some fire hopefully, and also smoke, and I want to sort of protect the bench, the wooden board where I had this chopped up. So I've sort of realised it's almost a failure from what I'd planned to do, just by the way it's sort of falling apart here. What I'm trying to do is separate the innards, because there's a bit more of that fluffed up, not so impregnated cotton there hopefully. The outside was pretty tough, but I had hoped it would just sort of light as one block and then burn quite nicely, but it's so compressed it's probably not going to be the case. So hopefully that's a nice bit to take a spark there. So we might start with that, see if it'll take a spark, and go from there. So we'll just zoom in a little bit. Now this fire steel has taken a hell of a battering over the times. It's about 3+ years old now. Lots of nooks and crannies in it. It's very hard to get a good strike on it because it sort of gets caught up there. But yeah, I'm using a knife. This is my ferro rod knife. I'm trying not to make too stronger strikes here because I am in the kitchen. There's a wooden floor, but that stroke all right. And that's my knife. It always has been for starting the ferro rod. So hopefully you'll be able to see, there it goes. That'll be the magnesium catching, and I was hoping it would give it a bit more heat, a bit more ferocity. Actually, I was hoping I could just powder the magnesium in it and it might just start and burn in, say, a minute or two, just with a really intense heat, but I get the feeling that's not going to be the case here. So I'm going to just start my timer now and see how long this burns for, and I'll put the extraction fan on, so it's going to be a bit noisy. And you can see that we're, well, I'm going to put my hand there, but we've got the timer at 12 seconds so far, so I wouldn't burn myself, and we'll just see how long it goes. So I won't make you watch the whole boring thing. I expected more sparks and sort of like one of those birthday candles that won't blow out. Certainly not the way it's panning out at this stage. Just move it back a bit there. That was the other thing I kind of hoped for, that it was a good blast of wind, and I don't want to blow it too strongly, as I said, although that was quite a good blast because we're in the kitchen, and if it slides off onto the floor or the wall and catches fire, it won't be too well thought of by the landlords. But that's still quite a good wind that it's taking there actually, so that I'd like to think that's the magnesium that's helping it hold that fire, and that was the other point of it, that it would be like one of those candles that if it blew out it reignited, but I don't know if that's fine enough shavings for this firelighter, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll let it burn and come back to you shortly. Alright, thanks for watching there. I'd say that's pretty much it. Burnt out there. We had a time of 4 minutes and say 20 seconds. There's still a bit of flame there. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Not as long as I hoped it would burn for, but at the same time, when I blew on it, I felt like the wind was only making it burn stronger with that magnesium in it. And so there's still a bit there. As I blow on it there, it just seems to burn away into nothing, and very little left over from this when it does burn out. Well, the knife's burning away there. I'll probably give it maybe a 5 out of 10 so far. I mean, it worked. Not as great as I expected, but it still did some of the things I'd hoped for. I'll just put that over there to sort of extinguish that smoke. So yeah, it did burn pretty quickly when the wind came onto it, like that magnesium ignited and burnt through it a lot faster. So there was a fair bit of heat there. So what I might do is try and get some powdered magnesium, or find some way to cut it up into much smaller pieces, maybe I don't know, a bean grinder or something, or I'll find something and mix it up with the cotton a bit more intensively, and then wax it, try and get a little bit less wax on this time, and see if that makes any difference. So anyway, that's just a quick look at this magnesium, cotton and wax fire starter here. And I'll catch you in the next video. I might take this out with the hobo stove and see if I can get a fire lit out in the snow, and see how it actually acts or reacts outside. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.